Alright guys, so in this video I'm going to be inking a new page from my Real Material comic book. This is page 22, fourth issue. So this is kind of a time lapse, by the way, on the first two panels that I've penciled here. And so I'm going to just be talking about something that I've just kind of hit upon here just recently. I've always heard the term, but I'll just talk a little bit about here on this time-lapse video. So basically this has to do with embracing imperfection. You know, the art of drawing comics without being quote-unquote precious. So comic book art is a vibrant and dynamic medium. You know, it allows me to tell compelling stories through visual charm. However, one of the common pitfalls that I faced, you know, is being overly precious with my artwork. So this tendency can turn the creative process into a meticulous, sometimes agonizing journey, and somehow, you know, it can rob me of any kind of spontaneity and flair. So I'm just going to kind of explore how embracing imperfection can actually enhance, at least for me, my comic book art, and why drawing comics traditionally can aid in speeding up the process. So first of all, let's talk about the curse of perfectionism. So perfectionism can definitely be a double-edged sword. So if I'm drawing my comics and I'm striving for perfection, this can push me to improve my skills. It can also create an environment where progress is stifled. So when I consider my work to be too precious, I might spend excessive time refining details that may not significantly contribute to the overall story or the emotional impact of the comic. So, you know, this can lead to burnout and prolonged project timelines. Now, luckily, I'm an independent artist, and at least for this comic book series, this page that I'm drawing specifically, I'm kind of on my own deadlines. So, you know, take that for what that is. But, you know, when it comes to traditional drawing, I think there's a beauty in traditional drawing. So drawing comic book art traditionally, you know, using pencil, ink, and paper, like real pencil, real world pencils, ink, and paper, has several advantages that I think can help circumvent the pitfalls of digital perfectionism. So here are kind of a few of my key takeaways, or rather the benefits of drawing traditionally. So the first one is speed and efficiency. I think traditional methods naturally encourages a quicker workflow. With digital tools, whether it's, well, what have you, whether it's Procreate or Photoshop, and I've used them both. With those digital tools, it's easy to endlessly tweak and refine. But the permanence of ink on paper prompts decisiveness. I think this urgency helps artists, at least for me, especially in the last couple of pages for my comic book here. It's really helped me to focus on getting the key elements right the first time. So another thing that to take into consideration is the tactile experience. Obviously, physically interacting with drawing materials can strengthen an artist's connection with their work. I think that's true with me, again, especially with the last few pages I've been doing here for my comic book. And also that tactile feedback from the pencils to the brushes, you know, the ink laying the ink down on the paper, it just provides me a different kind of control that can be lost with digital tools, I think. And I can speak to that because I've definitely worked in Procreate, you know, drawing on the iPad, on the tablet, on the glass. I've also used a Wacom tablet in Photoshop. And those are both great tools. But again, my main dive here is going into traditional drawing. Also, there's minimal distractions, I think, with the traditional tools. You know, traditional drawing methods eliminate the distractions commonly found in a digital workspace. You know, you got notifications or, you know, temptation to experiment with infinite brush settings, if that might be the case. So obviously this can really make the process more focused and productive. And by that I mean, you know, working with those traditional methods can help you just zone in and just focus really on drawing and composition and kind of the things that really matter, I think. Of course, the other thing that happens too with working traditionally are a term we've all heard, I'm sure, is happy accidents. So mistakes in traditional drawing, and I can point to a few here that I've done, at least in these 2 panels. Obviously, I'm not perfect. Nobody's perfect. But mistakes in traditional drawing can lead to unexpected and often delightful results. These are aspects that can be overlooked or skipped in digital art. A lot of these happy accidents can add a unique character and authenticity to the artwork. And as I mentioned just a few seconds ago, the focus on storytelling when creating comic book art, the focus should be on clear and effective storytelling rather than minute details. That really just kind of drives it home. We need to be precious with, I guess, the storytelling aspects and composition and things that help tell the story. But a well-crafted story through expressive characters and dynamic compositions often outweigh technical perfection. So, not being so precious with my work. At least for me, I strive to hopefully, I can help encourage growth within my own process. Creators who are less stringent with their work might tend to take more risks, so this could lead to a greater artistic growth and experimentation. Number 2, I guess, under this focus of storytelling is prioritizing essence. So essentially concentrating on those essential elements of each panel, I think just ensures that the story's pace and emotional beats are maintained, which is critical in keeping readers engaged. Now, I'm not the perfect artist, certainly not the best storyteller, but again, I'm working on that. And the third thing is I think I save time. So reduced time spent on revisions and corrections means more time for developing stories, characters, and new projects. Again, this is my own project. Independently published, produced. I write it, draw it, ink it, letter it, color it, publish it. So it's all me in this respect. But again, being able to take all these things into account, I think has really helped for me to make more of an effort to be less precious with my work. Now, blending traditional and digital, while traditional methods have their benefits, the digital medium shouldn't be dismissed entirely. I admit a balanced approach where, maybe some preliminary sketches and initial inking are done traditionally, followed by digital touch-ups and coloring, I think offer the best of both worlds. So this hybrid method, I think, leverages the decisiveness and tactile advantages of traditional drawing with the flexibility and convenience of digital refinement. So basically, in the quest for creating impactful comic book art, I think it's essential to remember that perfection should not come at the cost of progress. So embracing imperfections in your art, at least again from my perspective, can lead to faster workflows, I think, and then also more authentic storytelling and ultimately a more gratifying creative process. Because if I didn't like what I was drawing, it just wouldn't be satisfying at all. So by understanding the benefits of these traditional drawing methods, and for myself trying to prioritize the essence of storytelling, I think I'm on a better path to producing compelling comics that hopefully will resonate with the readers without falling into the trap of being too precious about my own work. Anyway, that's it for this video. This is probably going to be the first part of me inking this page. I'm going to ink the rest of this page, and then I'll post a few more segments on that, and we'll see what else pops into my head as I'm inking, or at least as I'm looking back on the time lapse. Anyway, that's it for now. Subscribe if you want to see more of this stuff. If you just like the video, if you want to just leave a comment, that would be awesome. Thanks for watching.